In this challenge, we're going to start working with the type tool a little bit more in depth. We're going to start by opening Photoshop and creating a new file. Our new file, we're going to go ahead and name period number underscore last name type basics. The preset is going to be US paper letter. This is what it's going to give us. And I'm going to click OK. Now we're going to start with our basic type tool. Down here, if we hold this down, you'll see that we have 4 different type tools here. We're going to start with horizontal type. Now once you get this tool selected, you're going to see up here that you can change several things using these options. Here we have the font family, the font style, the font size. We have alignment, left, center, and right align. We have the color of the text, and we also have a way to distort it, which I'll show you in a little bit. So let's just start by typing your first name. And what I want you to notice is that it creates a layer, a type layer, or text layer in your layers panel. And it also tells you the text that is there. That helps you identify it. Now, once you've committed your text, the only way that you can get it back, well, I shouldn't say the only way, the best way to get it back is to double click on the T. That's like the thumbnail image, and see it automatically selects it. At this point, we can go in here and we can choose something from the fonts to make it different. Okay? You also have what is called the character panel. And if yours is not open, remember that all of your panels are here listed in alphabetical order under the window menu. So you can open character panel there. Whenever you open the character panel, it automatically opens the paragraph panel as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave that as is, and I'm going to duplicate this layer a couple of times. So the best way for me to duplicate, I'm going to click on that layer and I'm going to drag it down to the new layer icon down at the bottom, and you can see that it made a copy of it. It's right on top of the original. Now, I can, because this layer is selected, I can use my character panel and I can change the color of it. Let's go ahead and change the color of it to red. And in addition to changing the color, right down here, I want you to notice that we have vertical scale and horizontal scale. So by default it's set at 100%, but as soon as I change it, it stays there until you change it back. Okay, so change the vertical scale to 200%, and then go ahead and drag that layer to the new layer icon down at the bottom. Now, with this new one down at the bottom, we can move that duplicate down, and you'll see that it's still 200%. I'm going to change the vertical scale back to 100, and this time I'm going to change the horizontal scale to 200%. So I want you to compare these three, and actually let's go ahead and change the color of that one. I'm going to choose blue. Compare the three of them. Here we have the normal one. It's just set at the default of 100 of each. This one has vertical scale. It makes it taller. It stretches the letters taller. And then this one stretches the letters wider. That's the horizontal scale. So it's pretty straightforward in how it works. All right, so this method that we used was called point, click, and type. Okay, and that basically means that you point where you want to start typing, you click, and then you type. Okay, I'm going to delete that one. We have also the ability, though, to do what is called type inside a text box. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my type tool, I am going to choose a different font. I'm going to go ahead. You can do it from the drop-down menu. You can also start typing it in. Oops, it changed it because that was selected. Let me deselect and try that again. All right, so I can start typing in a V and it's going to go to Verdana. I want to change my color to black and draw my text box in the right side of the page. Now, you're going to notice that there's like a blinking cursor here. That's just showing you that you're ready to start typing. Now, you could type whatever you wanted to type, but for this case, I actually have a text document in Poland Pickup. It's called Type Text. You can select it, copy it, and paste it. Oops, I thought I changed mine to black. I guess I didn't. And you're going to notice that it looks a little big, okay? It's not just because of the font size. Remember that we applied our horizontal scale to the last piece of text, so it's still at 200%. So we need to change it to 100 and hit enter to apply it. Now, the text that I put in here was a little bit more than what this text box could hold. And I know that because I can see this box down here at the lower right corner, this handle has a plus sign in it. That means that there is what's called overset text. So I can drag that down in order to make the text fit in the box. Okay, so here the thing that's nice about this text box is that I can click and drag and it's going to resize and still hold that text into place. If I had simply done the point click and pasted, that's what it does. And then I would have to go in and hit return everywhere that I wanted it to return. Oops, I did one too many. And it's then not something. Notice that there's no handles. This one has handles, so I can resize it and move it around. Okay, so now that we have that text box there, now we want to make a couple of changes to it. I'm going to go ahead and double click on that little thumbnail T to select the text, and I can do a couple of things. Up here in my paragraph panel, we have a few things. We have alignment up at the top. We have alignment up here too, but in the paragraph panel, we have more options. So the most common ones are going to be left, center, and right align. We're going to leave ours at left. But over here to the right, we also have justify, and then it leaves the last line hanging to the left or the center or to the right or fully justify everything. Okay, so we could do a left justify with a full justify with the last line hanging to the left, but I think this is still our better option for what we're going to do next. So left align. Here we have a way that we can indent left or right margins. And this next one, though, allows us to indent the first line of this paragraph. So I'm going to click in there and I'm going to type, if it will let me, there we go, 25 point. And it puts a nice little indent here at the beginning, just like if you had a paragraph in a book. Next, we're going to do our vertical type. So I want you to go ahead and get this vertical type tool. This time you're going to type your last name, and all it does is it goes straight down. You can select it and you can choose a different font. Some fonts are better suited for this type of type than others. visually they look better than other ones do. If we look here at this black oak, notice how wide some of the font is and others not so much. So this one probably wouldn't be a great one to choose. But impact is pretty simple and straightforward. We can change the font size of this, and we can change that either up here, oops, up here, or using our character panel. It does it the same way. You can type, or you can do like I did. Notice how you get the finger when you roll over the double T in both places. That allows you to click and drag in both directions. Okay, so I'm going to make mine 47. I have a long last name, and I'm going to move it over here to the left. Depending on how long yours is, you can change the font size of it as needed.